It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it. Thank you for making time for us. We are back, and our focus now is on the Carling Black Label knockout. We've just watched Orlando Pirates against Magesi FC out at the Orlando Stadium, and the game ending 2-1 in favor of Orlando Pirates, which effectively means Orlando Pirates move on into the semi-finals of this season's Carling knockout. And the best way for Orlando Pirates to shake off the disappointment that they faced in the CAF Champions League, CAF Champions League, the best way to shake off the disappointment that they faced over the weekend is to get back into winning ways and focus on winning. Before we get into the game, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Off Air Podcasts. Check us out and subscribe, and also like our content so that you get notified when we issue out this content. Also check us out on our socials. On Facebook, it's Fans Corner, and also on TikTok, it's Fans Corner. We do upload some shorts there for you to also enjoy. Now let's get into the game itself. It was a pretty much one-sided game, especially in the first half. It was pretty much one-sided. We saw Orlando Pirates coming guns blazing as a team possessed. Understandably so, a wounded Orlando Pirates. They showed it on the field of play. In the first half, it was pretty much Pirates versus Chipezeze, not Pirates versus Magesi. Pirates versus Chipezeze. I think Chipezeze kept Magesi from being eliminated in the first half, because this game could have easily ended in the first half. The way Orlando Pirates were so much in attack, so many shots at goals on target, not just shot at goals, but shot at goals on target, also hitting the post a number of times. So it started looking like one of those games where it could be Orlando Pirates playing all the football and Magesi taking the credit at the end of the game. But it wasn't to be. You know, Chipezeze, and games like these, you know, he turns up. I remember even last season, I think Magesi won this tournament last season. Chipezeze showed up in every single game, and he won number of Man of the Match awards. And remember, this is one competition where the Man of the Match award is very lucrative, 100,000 rands. I think last season he received something like a $500,000 or something close to that for just winning one Man of the Match. Elvis Chipezeze, he understands this competition very well. Even today, he won Man of the Match, even after Orlando Pirates being dominant and winning the game. But we saw his contribution. It could have been worse. Especially in the first half. Pirates could have scored a number of goals in the first half. Chipezeze was the difference between the two teams. In the second half, obviously, I think Pirates realized that it would take something very special to beat Chipezeze, not just to beat Magesi, because if you want to beat, today it was an issue about beating Chipezeze, then you beat Magesi, because it was about, if you want to beat Magesi, you must beat Chipezeze. And Pirates understood the task and the assignment in the second half. Tsepang Murem with a weldy coming in from the left-hand side and shooting a massive shot into the top left corner of the goals, and there was nothing Chipezeze could do about that. And after that, I think the game opened up a little bit towards the last 15 minutes or so of the game. We saw the game opening up a little bit even more, because now Magesi had nothing to lose. I mean, they could go forward. They had chances of their own. They could have scored a goal or two, and unfortunately for them, it wasn't to be. And Pirates scored a second one. After the second goal, it was pretty much a done and dusted game. There wasn't much that could be done. The statistics are suggesting that this was a one-sided game. In terms of expected goals, 1.85 for Pirates. Yeah, there isn't much of a difference with that. But in terms of ball position, it's almost two-thirds of the ball with Orlando Pirates. Pretty much similar to the Pirates that we saw before the disaster that they had to go through in Lubumbashi. 24 shots at goal. Imagine, 24 shots at goal, and 9 of them on target. Almost a third of them on target. Big chances, 0-0. But the Pirates still were able to convert 2 chances, which were not necessarily considered to be big chances because of the manner in which they were taken, from where they were taken. Pirates with 85% of the pass accuracy, and Magesi with 71. 483 passes from Orlando Pirates out of the 568 that were attempted. It was a one-sided show, man. It was a Pirates show. They had to win. I guess if you're a Pirates fan, you started thinking, let this not be, especially in the first half, you were praying that let this not be one of those days where we play all the football only to come home empty-handed. It was starting to look that way, especially with the manner in which Chipezes was so much on fire. But then I think the thing is the CAF elimination of Orlando Pirates, the elimination of Orlando Pirates from the CAF Champions League kind of made us forget what kind of a team Orlando Pirates are. Because before that, the Lubumbashi disaster, the game that was not televised, the game that we couldn't watch, this is the same Orlando Pirates that had won 10 consecutive games in all competitions, keeping 9 clean sheets in the process, if I counted correctly. 10 consecutive games before the game in Congo, Lubumbashi, where we don't know what actually happened. But judging by the players, the Lupopo's players, the display, the way they displayed the disrespect and the kind of behavior that they displayed at Orlando Stadium, you can only imagine what went down in Lubumbashi. It must have been a very hostile situation. It must have been a very difficult task for Orlando Pirates. But they came back and reversed that to show how strong a team they are. And it wasn't to be. We spoke about that. We don't want to go back there. I'm just saying that defeat over the weekend and the subsequent elimination from the CAF Champions League must not deceive us into forgetting that this is the same Orlando Pirates that we had been praising before that disaster in Lubumbashi. They are still a potent team, a dangerous team, and today it was even worse. They were wounded. They had to correct their wrongs. They had to make sure that they continue on that winning streak, because chances, it happens a lot, this thing, that you find a team on a very good streak, on a winning streak, scoring goals, banging goals, keeping clean sheets and so on, and then they lose one game, and that one game turns things around for them, and then they start the new streak of negative results. But Orlando Pirates had to win this particular game immediately after the disaster that happened against FC Lupopo, or Set Elliot Lupopo, whatever they call themselves. So they had to make sure that they correct that and go back to the streak that they were in, especially in local competitions. So I guess now, like we said, even as soon as Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns were eliminated from the competition, many people, including myself, would have started talking about how this is now a tournament for Orlando Pirates to lose. Not to disrespect the other teams that are still there. We saw Richards Bay making it into the semis. We saw, I think, Golden Arrows also, the two KZN sides into the semis, together with Orlando Pirates now. Now we await the game between, is it Stellenbosch? I know Stellenbosch is going to be involved in that game. Yeah, it's going to be Stellenbosch between Marumo Gallants. It's only tomorrow, so we'll find out on Wednesday who joins them into the semi-finals. So I'm saying, looking at those teams there, I don't think there's any team that really wants to play Orlando Pirates. I spoke about this in another video where I was even saying, at that time, Chiefs had not been eliminated. They hadn't played yet. And I said, I don't want Chiefs to face Orlando Pirates. And people watched that video after Chiefs had been eliminated, and they started saying, yeah, the Chiefs is not going to face Pirates. They were eliminated, because people don't understand the time frames and stuff. Otherwise, I think this Orlando Pirates we go back to talking about them the way we've been talking about them. They are a force to be reckoned with. They are going to be competitive in the league. They are going to be. They've already won the first competition of the season. This is the second one. They stand a very good chance. They still have got the league. They still have got the Nedbank Cup. So they did hit a bumpy. They had a bumpy surface over the weekend, and yeah, it was an obstacle. That obstacle that really distracted them should not also distract us into forgetting that this is a very dangerous Orlando Pirates, like we've seen today. Otherwise, if you're a Orlando Pirates fan, congratulations to you and your team. There's a big game coming up over the weekend. It's going to be Orlando, but that one is going to be a mouth-watering. I so wish I could go to the stadium. But yeah, life, So we will be doing Fans Corner after that game, but it's going to be a very massive game. I think going to that game now, Orlando Pirates will go up there with their heads held up high and the confidence up and ready to take on Mamelodi Sundowns over the weekend. It's going to be a very exciting game. Otherwise, thank you for making time for us. This has been Fans Corner. We meet again in the next one.